Capricorn, welcome back. This week I am doing love connection readings. They will be for July 25th until July 31st, 2021. And of course, it's a general reading, so it might not resonate for you. That's totally okay. I want you just to take the things that make you think, the things that make you feel, and leave everything else behind. Let's get into your higher vibes. I'm gonna stick with my 6-card layout that we've been doing, a little 6-card spread. Feels good to me. Messaging is good. So let's see what's going on for Capricorn in love. July 25th until July 31st, 2021. Okay. Overall energy for you, Capricorn, is the 5 of Wands. We're dealing with some obstacles and some struggles right now. I firmly think when it comes to communication, emotional communication most especially. In the advice here, we have Queen of Cups, the Empress, Queen of Swords, the Star, and the Hierophant. So Capricorn, it's interesting to me because I feel like you and your partner have maybe different goals that you're working towards right now. One of you is working towards something to do with higher education, with achieving maybe some higher workplace things, promotions, scaling your way up, upgrading yourself in your career in some way. And there's a real like education sort of focus here, and I think that has a lot of their energy. The other one of you has a focus on a want for family, on a want for children, on a want for just really building a stronger love energy around. So this could involve pets, this could involve kids. And I think as a result, it's like both of you are very focused on what your singular priorities are, and which for one of you is self-focused and the other one of you is group-focused. And you're not really speaking to one another well about it. There's a lack of communication on this. So I think obviously we're going to see this in some butting heads on things and not coming into agreement on how we prioritize things together. But I think it's just, you know, a matter of two people that are being kind of selfish and kind of stubborn. And it's not for, you know, saying there's anything wrong between the relationship. It's just like your focuses are in two very different places. Especially if one of you is really focusing on family and the other one is like not in a mental space where like that's something they can be focusing on. It's not going to make for a great, you know, parenting situation or want to expand in that sort of way. Let's take a look at the 5 of Wands. So we'll get right into clarifying and deepen on the messages. Hanged Muse, the Hierophant coming up again, and the Chariot. So, yeah, sorry, I don't think we're dealing with a Taurus here. I think your partnership may be with somebody who is a water sign or an air sign. But yeah, again, the conflict's happening because you're like two immovable masses. One of you wants to be moving forward and is very focused on forward momentum. And I think that has to do with like forward momentum for themselves, for career, for just status of developing a position in the world. And the other one of you is just like very much digging your heels in and saying like, you know, how can you want to be focusing on that when we should be focusing on all these other parts of our relationship where there should be more love flowing and, you know, expanding our family in whatever way that looks like here. But again, it's like you're not communicating with one another. You're just both stubbornly digging your heels in, and one of you is trying to progress and the other is trying to hold them back from moving forward because it's not aligning with their needs, as opposed to saying like, you know, here's what I'm feeling and here's what I really want for us. Here's my focus right now. You know, can we have a conversation about where that might fit into where your focus is right now? Instead of having those conversations, we're just not talking, being stubborn, being petty. I think, you know, there's real energy of doing little things to try to hold each other back here. I'm going to pull some cards on the Queen of Cups. Magician, Eight of Emotions, and the Three of Inspiration. Yeah. I think one of you is willing to be compromising on their plans, but we're not having a conversation about them, so how can we be compromising? It's just more that the energy between the two of you is not great right now. But I think for one of you, as a result, there's consideration of walking away from the relationship. And obviously, I mean, like, you're in a relationship where you don't seem to have the same goals right now. You're not communicating about them. And there's some energy here of like kind of sabotaging one another, or one of you trying to sabotage the other's ability to reach success because you're upset or they're upset that what we're not working towards is what you want or what they want. Let's look at the, what just came out? Ace of Materials just came flying out. I think somebody's really just trying to get themselves in a better position, which ultimately would help, you know, if we're looking for family structure, forward movement. I'm going to look at this Queen of Swords now. Seven of Voices, Four of Inspiration, Ace of Inspiration. Yeah. It's very weird. I do think that this person who's like got the real sense of career focus or achievement focus right now, leveling up, are doing it from of pure intention. They're doing it because they want to be able to create a better platform on top of which the relationship can grow and flourish and become better. And I think just in the way that you are all communicating with one another, in that you're not communicating, or when you do, it's slights and it's petty and it's trying to hold one back or trying to remind that person that they're not in alignment with what you want them to be in alignment with, or the other way around. And they are trying to actively do this to like ultimately get to the objective of what the partner wants, right? So if it's you here, Capricorn, that's trying to work towards career advancement, it's coming from a place of, I want to be able to, you know, do a better job providing for my family. And if your partner's whole focus right now is like, you know, family and I want to expand a family, and they're thinking like that needs to happen this moment, and you're just focusing on work, or you're just focusing on school, you're just focusing on advancement and status, they're not understanding that that is your way of showing that you're committed to being part of that, to coming at it from a better position. But it's happening because we're not having a conversation. There are no swords anywhere here except for this Queen of Swords, who has her back turned to the other person. Okay, so we're not talking. I mean, this Hanged Muse and Hierophant energy up here is like, oof, just like stubborn energy. I'm not moving on this. I'm not going to compromise on what I want because it's not what you want. And so one of you here is considering walking away. And if it's important to you that not happen and the relationship continue to move forward, then like we need to have a conversation about what are our goals, long-term, short-term, where do they overlap, and where do they, you know, butt heads, and is there a way that we can compromise on them? This mess that's going on in your relationship, Capricorn, is just a result of two people who are not willing to have a conversation with one another about what their wants and what their needs are. And I think just opening up that channel of dialogue is going to alleviate a lot of this. The person who is being perceived as being selfish for wanting to focus on work is not trying to come at it from a selfish place. I don't think they're coming at it from a place of wanting to provide more. And that conversation needs to happen. Otherwise, we'll never know. Intention is very important. So y'all need to talk. I don't know what else to say. You need to have a conversation. We need to talk about it, because there's just like all this tension brewing, all of these conflicts popping up, and they're just purely and truly coming from the stubbornness that's going on. So be willing to be open. Be willing to have a conversation. And I really hope that this helped you this week, Capricorn. If it did, leave me a thumbs up. If you're not yet subscribed, I would love for you to subscribe, and then I will see you back here next week.